Are you dreaming of a magical holiday setup, but you're short on time and budget? Well, get ready to transform your home into a winter wonderland. We are creating dazzling village house displays and a show-stopping Christmas tree gift box topiary that I know you will love. We are definitely going to be creating those village house displays. We are going to start off by creating two huge Christmas tree topiaries made out of gift boxes. So if you want something show-stopping but you're short on budget, then this DIY is definitely for you. So the first thing we need to do is just round up a whole bunch of boxes. So if you've got some boxes just hanging around, don't throw them out quite yet. Save them and do this DIY with me. I'm going to be using 3 boxes per topiary, and they are identical in size. So I've got 2 small ones, 2 medium ones, and 2 large ones. The boxes that I'm using are quite thin, and that is for 2 reasons. One, it's because it's what I had and I'm not going to go buy boxes. And the second is because we're going to be putting it on my buffet in my dining room, and it's quite thin. So if I had big boxes, it would protrude and people would knock it over. So just get a box that fits in with your specific space. Now we need to create some holes in these boxes because we are going to be stacking them on top of each other. So what I did was I got a ruler and a pencil and I measured out this center and made a mark. Then I'm going to get my Aliyah drill and drill a hole in the center of the box. I needed a big hole and I want them all to be the same size, so this drill is going to work fantastic. I drilled a hole on the top and the bottom of each one of my 6 boxes directly in the center. Now it's time to get out your favorite gift wrap and wrap those boxes. The wrapping paper that I'm going to use is from Ross. I have some Christmas tree wrapping paper. I've got wrapping paper with snowflakes on it, and then I have this beautiful geometric wrapping paper. These coordinate together because they are in the same color tone. They're white and gold. And I'm choosing 3 separate designs. This is where you can really get creative and pick whichever wrapping paper you want. You could even wrap them all in the same wrapping paper and that would work fantastic. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's just wrap these boxes in this wrapping paper. This was quick and easy. My large and mid-sized box have lids on them, so I did mix and match my wrapping paper on a few boxes. We need access to the holes on those boxes, so I need to punch a hole back through the wrapping paper. So I grabbed a knife and I punched a hole through the wrapping paper so those holes are exposed once again. The accent color that I'm using in my foyer, my dining room, and my living room is this French blue, and I have this stunning French blue ribbon. It's velvet, it's really thick, and it's got this silver shiny scroll design in the center. It's just stunning. So we are going to be using this color scheme and this ribbon on our box topiary. To go along with this ribbon, we need a coordinating ribbon, and I found this ribbon at Hobby Lobby. It's got some gold and this blue that coordinates so beautifully with our ribbon. So what I'm going to do with this Hobby Lobby ribbon is wrap it around our boxes. I'm actually just going to wrap it around the lids of the boxes. So I hot glued one of the ends of the ribbon to the lid, pulled it tight, and wrapped it around to the opposite side and hot glued that side to the lid. Then I took a second segment of ribbon, hot glued it to the lid, or wrapped it around to the front and back inside, and then hot glued it in place. This ribbon is going to be offset. It's going to be off to the side just a little bit. Once I was finished with this box, I moved on to my second box. I added the ribbon to the lid in the exact same way. I have 1 ribbon across the center, and then I added 1 ribbon offset. I'm only adding ribbon to the medium and the large box. The smallest box is going to be plain right now. I am going to be placing our boxes on top of these crystal stands. These started out as thrifted lamps. I turned these into these crystal stands last Christmas season, and I put some Christmas trees on top of these crystal stands, and I put them on either side of my buffet right here. And I love these crystal stands so much, so that's what we're going to use as our tree trunk or base for our boxes. Now we need to be able to have our boxes stand upright and not topple over. And this is where a wooden dowel is going to come into play. What I'm gonna do is poke that wooden dowel into my crystal stands. And how lucky is this, you guys? There's actually a hole from the lamp that's in the center of our crystal stands. It goes all the way to the bottom. And our wooden dowel fits perfectly inside of the hole. And it goes all the way down to the bottom. So I know that this wooden dowel is going to be secure in place and that my boxes are not gonna topple over. The wooden dowel I'm using is a 3/8 inch wooden dowel. I took my largest gift box first. I'm going to thread it onto the wooden dowel. I poked it through the bottom and then the wooden dowel came out through the top. Then I took my middle-sized box and poked the bottom of the box through the wooden dowel, and then I had to fish around for it for just a minute, but I finally got the wooden dowel to come out the top. And then lastly, I have my smallest box, and again, I poked that wooden dowel through the bottom of the box and up through the top. You can see that there's just a tiny, I would say 3/4 inch wooden dowel poking out the top, which is fantastic because now I know that the wooden dowel has gone through all 3 of my boxes, but that little extra piece is going to help in just a minute because we're going to add some beautiful touches to our topiary. But isn't this a fantastic technique? I'm using my little lamp bases, but you could definitely use any container you wanted and just fill it up with some floral foam and poke your wooden dowel into the floral foam. It would work fantastic. So now we need to add some embellishments to our box. And what I'm gonna do is get a whole bunch of Christmas greenery. I've got some frosted leaves, I've got white leaves, and then I'm actually going to take a garland. I purchased a couple of these garlands at Hobby Lobby and they were 50% off. If you're looking for a very inexpensive way to get some wintry picks, buy a garland and then just cut them into the size that you need. It's so much more cost efficient and I can get a whole bunch of greenery from one garland. So I cut these into a couple different segments. And I'm also going to be using more of that striped gold and blue ribbon, and I'm going to tie that into a bow. So now I'm going to layer all of my botanicals on top of each other and my ribbon, and I'm going to get some floral wire and wrap it around the botanicals to secure everything together. Then I'm going to take the excess wire poking out the end and slide it under the lid of the box. It will hold everything in place on the corner. Once my first swag was in place, I repeated that process on the middle box. At the top of the box, I'm creating a giant bow and I'm going to be using my French blue ribbon. And then I'm also going to be using this cream and gold snowflake ribbon. This is from Hobby Lobby. I looped these ribbons and then wired them together with the floral wire and added more botanicals. And then I wrapped it around that 3/4 inch wooden dowel that was poking out the top. And then I added a little hot glue to the wire in the wooden dowel to secure the bow in place. And now I just need to repeat that process on my second Christmas tree gift box topiary. We're done. Look at how fantastic our Christmas tree gift box topiaries look. They are regal, they are elegant, they are very substantial. And the best part was that they were so affordable. I used boxes that I had at home. I already had the wrapping paper, so that didn't cost me anything. I used a wooden dowel and then a whole bunch of greenery and ribbons. You could make giant topiaries. You could make teeny tiny ones and put them on top of a buffet or a table for a centerpiece. You could completely customize them with the wrapping paper and the ribbon. These decorations are so fantastic and they are going to look beautiful on top of my buffet in my dining room. So let's go ahead and put those where they belong. I'm going to place one topiary on one side of the mirror in my dining room and one on the other side of the mirror. And now you can see why I mirror imaged the ribbons and the greenery. It's because I wanted the greenery to be opposite of each other. Oh, and I did decide to add some little white sparkly birds to the little swags. I thought those would be so pretty. I had some leftover. I purchased these at Ross and they are so gorgeous. I love the sparkles on it and they've got little gems on the wing. And I think that they add a beautiful detail to our box topiary. These Christmas topiary decorations go perfect on my countertop. They are tall, substantial, and they add a classy touch in my dining room in a fun and unique way. isn't decorating for Christmas just the merriest, but after a while you get kind of tired hanging up ornaments and creating displays and you need a little bit of a break. Well, I have a great idea for you, and it is to play a little game. I love playing Merge Cooking. This is a perfect distraction to have some playful time during the Christmas season. This is a gentle merge puzzle game that whisks you away. You can go to Tokyo, you can go to France, you can go to the nearest takeout, and you can have a global culinary adventure, unlocking over 10,000 world cuisines across all kinds of themed restaurants. This is my go-to for stress relief, whether I'm at home or if I'm in the car. This is zero cost. Play for fun, no hidden fees, no ads. We've got endless fun, free coins, and energy galore. Earn rewards daily just by playing. Imagine whipping up all kinds of holiday treats from around the world from your cozy little spot by the Christmas tree. Today I have moved from my fruity juice bar to takeout paradise, which is fitting for this time of year because takeout is definitely the way to go. Merge cooking is all about smart merging, not mindless tapping. These brain-teasing puzzles are challenging enough to keep your mind sharp, but easy enough to enjoy without the fuss. It gives you instructions. So right now it's telling me to drag my cherry onto the juicer to make cherry juice. How fun is that? The brand new Equipment Fusion lets you merge kitchen tools to create unique cooking systems. And just like that, stovetop unlocked. It's truly online freedom. No Wi-Fi, no problem, you can play from anywhere. So when tinsel hanging gets a little too tedious, take a break and play one of your new favorite games. I know you're gonna love it. For new players, you can enter a special gift code, which I will leave in my pinned comment. I will also leave a link in my description box so you can head on over to Merge Cooking, download it onto your iPhone or your tablet, and get merging. Now it's time to make our village house displays. I'm actually going to be making two. One for a centerpiece on my dining table and one that's going to go on the buffet in between our gift box topiaries. Now the first thing we're gonna need is some giant glass apothecary jars. I love these apothecary jars. I use them every single Christmas. I have 3 jars and I purchased these years ago at Home Goods. We are going to place some Christmas village houses inside of these apothecary jars. The village houses that I'm going to use are from Ross. They're actually ornaments. They're the perfect size. They have such beautiful detail on them, and they were only $3.99 and they light up, so these are going to be perfect. Before we add our village houses to the apothecary jars, we need to fill them up with snow since it is Christmas time after all. Now I've got 2 options for you. The first is this frosty snow. I've used it a few times already this year. I put them on the bottom of some lanterns in the foyer. This frosty snow is from Walmart. And then another thing that you can use is some Epsom salts. I purchased this bag like 4 or 5 years ago at Target. I save it and reuse it every single year, and it only gets used for Christmas decorating. That's it. We don't use it for bath time or anything else. So this is a great option. This bag was just a couple of dollars, so you can use either one. Today, we're gonna go with the Epsom salt. So I'm going to pour some of this into our jars. I'm going to fill it up about 1/4 to 1/3 of the way with the Epsom salt. I filled up all 3 of my jars, and then I took my village houses and placed those in the jars on top of the Epsom salt snow. We have some extra space behind our village houses for something else. So I'm going to get some bottle brush Christmas trees in a variety of different heights and sizes. I've got white trees, I've got cream trees, I have some green trees, and I'm going to just nestle those into the Epsom salt snow right behind our village houses. I'm adding a few trees per jar. These little bottle brush Christmas trees add a fantastic detail to our displays. They add some sparkle and height, which I love. Once I had added them to the inside of the jars, I replaced the lids. If you are looking for some unique and wonderful ways to decorate your home during this Christmas season, then you have come to the right place. I post new weekly videos, one on Monday and one on Thursday until mid-December. We do everything from complete room transformations, DIYs, thrift flips, high-end dupes. I've got a whole lot of decorating coming up, so make sure that you're subscribed so you can join in on all of the decorating fun. These jars are looking fantastic, but they need a little extra something to the lid. Now, one of the themes that we have going on this year is wreaths. I have wreaths on my Christmas tree. I've got wreaths on my garland on the fireplace. I have wreaths on the ginger jars right behind me in the kitchen. And then I also have wreaths on the ginger jar that are on the centerpiece on my breakfast table. So we are going to use those wreaths once again. I purchased a package of these at Hobby Lobby. It was 50% off, so it was a great deal. I'm going to add some pearl ornaments to these wreaths. I got a package of pearls in the wedding section at Hobby Lobby. All I'm going to do is add some hot glue to the wreath, then take my pearl and press it into the hot glue. I went around the wreath and added several of these pretty tiny little pearls to the wreaths. These pearls are just enough detail. They're classy and they add a pop of white on a dark wreath. They look like little ornaments, which is so cute. To attach these wreaths to our jars, we're going to be using some ribbon. I have some white and gold grosgrain ribbon that I purchased at Target. And all I'm going to do is wrap this ribbon around the lid and tie it into a bow. Then I place the wreath in the center of the bow. And then I let the bow tails hang down the sides of the apothecary jars. Aren't these village displays so fantastic? You could add such a variety of items to apothecary jars. You could just do bottle brush Christmas trees. You could add some fun keepsakes. You could fill it up with ornaments. There's a lot of options when it comes to apothecary jar fillers that would be perfect for a Christmas decoration. Now that our jars are done, it's time to assemble our centerpiece here in the dining room. The first thing we need is a runner. I have a stunning runner that's got some blue and gray scroll detail on it. That's going to go down first, and then I'm going to use a computer riser. These computer risers are fantastic because what it's supposed to do is you put your computer on it so you have better posture. Well, I'm going to use it in my decorating. So I put that over the top of the runner, but I don't like the glass that's on there. So what I'm going to do is get one of my $12 marble Lowe's tiles that I have all over my house. I love these tiles, and I'm going to place that right over the top of the glass. That way it adds some white, but it also makes it feel a little more luxurious. To the center of my riser, I'm going to place my glass apothecary jars. I think these look so amazing. I love that they're raised up just a little bit. I've got the tall one in the back and the smaller ones on the side. And then I'm going to take a few more bottle brush Christmas trees and a glass Christmas tree and place that around the top of the riser as well. And then I have another one of those little tiny village houses that I'm going to put in the center. Then I'm going to take a frosted pine garland and I'm going to run that down the center of the runner. What I love about garlands like this is that it makes it feel a little more bountiful, but it's also going to hide that gap that we have from the top of the table to the bottom of the riser. And then off to either side, I have a few more of these village houses. I purchased these large village houses a few years ago at Home Goods. I think they are stunning. And can you see how well they coordinate with our little mini village houses? And I added a couple more of these mini village houses to different areas throughout the centerpiece as well. And I placed them on top of these cute little cupcake stands just to give them some extra height, which I think is definitely necessary on a very long centerpiece. And to top everything off, I just got a couple more of these glass Christmas trees and I placed those sporadically down the runner. I just realized I left a price tag on top of one of these village houses. So we're gonna snip that off real quick. Just pretend you didn't see it. See, look, good as new. Okay, so this is gonna go on top of another mini cupcake stand. And then we're done, you guys. What do you think about this centerpiece? It was so easy to put together. I think my favorite part by far are these glass apothecary jars. They add just an elegance to the centerpiece, and it's a fun and unique way to display some village houses. But everything else on this centerpiece is just stunning, and it coordinates so well together. So if you have some pretty little village houses, then display them on a table. It doesn't have to be too big. I can still put some plates around the sides. We can still eat here. And if I needed to completely clear it off, it's not a big deal. And then I could put it back when we were done with dinner. Now that we're done creating our centerpiece village house display, let's move right on over to the buffet and create one there. To start off with, I'm going to add a white lace snowflake runner that I purchased at Hobby Lobby. I love that this brightens up the space because that granite is so dark. So the snowflake runner is going down first. Now that the runner is in place, I'm going to get a couple of marble rectangles. These have scalloped edges. They're so pretty. I purchased these at Ross. And next, I'm going to get my village houses. I have a church that's gonna go right in the center. I purchased this at Home Goods the same time that I bought the other two houses that are on the centerpiece. Can you see how they coordinate and they match so beautifully together? So the church is gonna go in the center, and then I have another kind of gingerbread house. It's still white. Again, this was from Home Goods. So that's going to be placed on top of a marble rectangle. Then I have these large white sparkly village houses. These are from Target. I bought these last year and I added all these embellishments to it. We've got a garland, some more of those pearls, and then I outlined the windows and other details with a gold paint pen that I purchased at the Dollar Tree. I'm going to place these village houses on top of some clear cake stands, just to give our display a little bit of height and variety. We don't want a display that's just straight across. So using the cupcake stands and the cake stands are perfect to give some extra height to our display. And now I've just got a couple of these smaller village houses that started out as ornaments, and now they are standalone houses. I placed one inside of a cloche and I put it on top of a mini cupcake stand. And now that all of my village houses are in place, I'm going to get some more of those bottle brush Christmas trees in a variety of different heights, sizes, and colors. And I'm going to place those throughout the houses to fill in the vacant spaces, but also add some variety to the village display. Now we're done creating this village house display. I love the way that this entire buffet looks. We've got our tall topiaries on either side, and we definitely needed something in the center. It would have been too plain if we would have left it alone. So this easy to create village house display is perfect. And because our dining table centerpiece and this buffet is in the same room, I definitely wanted to make sure that they coordinated. So by using the same type of house, the same colors, and the same bottle brush Christmas trees, they definitely will enhance each other. I love that we have the mirror in the center and then a very classic and elegant village house display that fills up the countertop with a festive wintry scene. Another magical thing about our wintry village houses is that they light up. So I can just turn these on at night for a very special glow. And I love that these are different from the sparkly, twinkly Christmas lights. This is a different kind of Christmas glow. They gleam in the evening and the warm lights radiate from within the village houses. It is such a wonderful accompaniment to the foyer display. Do you remember when we made the Burningham department store window display? Well, because you can see both spaces, you definitely get that magical feeling, especially at night. move over to the back of the dining room and decorate this foyer table. The first thing that I did was I brought down this gorgeous ornate mirror from my storage closet upstairs. This mirror adds the elegance that we need in this room. It also adds a reflective light. That's why I love using mirrors when I decorate, because it makes the rooms feel larger, but it also reflects whatever is in front of them. And what's in front of mine is this stunning deer. If this looks familiar, it's because I have another one that's on the centerpiece in my kitchen. I have a standing deer and I have a sitting deer in my kitchen. Well, I needed one more for this space. So I have his brother. He's in here standing tall in front of the mirror. And the only thing that I needed to do with him was change the berries on his wreath. Originally they were red. I pulled those out and I added some champagne berries, some gold berries, some frosted leaves, and then in the center I have a jacquard ribbon that I tied into a bow. He is definitely the focal point to this foyer table design, and to make him stand out even more, I put him on top of a marble riser just to give him a little bit of extra height, but I didn't want to see the marble risers, so I got some satin fabric in a cream color and I draped that over the marble riser and on to the sides just to add some elegance, which I think it definitely does. And then on either side of our reindeer, I have these white cone Christmas trees. These are so pretty and they add the sparkle that we need. Can you see those just pretty little sparkles that are on top of these cone Christmas trees? I have them in two different sizes, a large and a medium, so I'm going to place two on either side of our reindeer. These cone Christmas trees add a pop of white that we definitely need because we have a dark frame on the mirror and the deer itself is a darker copper gray. So these white Christmas trees brighten up this tabletop. And now we're done decorating this foyer table. It looks elegant. It definitely looks regal. And we did keep this display fairly minimal. We don't have too much going on. We've got our mirror, our deer, and the two Christmas trees, and that's it. So we are keeping things fairly streamlined over here. And that's it. We are done with our Christmas Village House displays. We are finished creating our gift box Christmas tree topiaries, and we decorated the foyer table, which means that this entire dining room is decorated and ready for Christmas. All the decor coordinate together beautifully. Everything was easy to create, and those Christmas tree gift boxes were very affordable. You can see how affordability can still look elegant and classy, which proves that you can live beautifully, and you can definitely do it throughout this Christmas season. So let's do a quick decorating recap. We've got the dining room decorated. We have the family room decorated. We've got the garland on the fireplace mantle. We have the Christmas tree done. The breakfast table has its centerpiece, and of course our kitchen is looking magical. And then let's talk about the foyer. We did that last week, as well as the front porch. So we are making some fantastic headway in our Christmas decorating, but we still have a long ways to go. We are going to be decorating the living room. We don't even have the tree up in there yet. We've got to decorate my bedroom as well. On Thursday, we're going to be doing some very high-end dupes, and we're going to be saving ourselves a ton of money. And then I'm also going to be showing you my daughter Violet's room. Many of you asked about being able to see that. She wanted to decorate her room in a Candyland theme this year. So we're working on that right now. So I will be giving you a tour of that room. We still have a whole lot of decorating to come. So make sure that you are subscribed so you won't miss out on those Monday and Thursday videos. I know that you will get some inspiration so you can decorate your home for this festive time of year. Well, I hope you got some inspiration today. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much for watching.